Well, we always think about the holidays being happy and merry, but sometimes there's just a little bit stressful and there's some grief involved too. And joining us today to talk about how to get through the season of grief during the holidays, Alexandria Frederick. She is aftercare coordinator at Lifeline of Ohio. And thanks for joining us, Alex.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so sometimes during the holiday season, you know, if you've lost a loved one, grief can come back with the trigger of something, or if it's recent loss, you know, grief can be a part of the holiday season, right?
Absolutely.
And so sometimes it's hard to get through, but with Lifeline of Ohio, you deal with joy and with grief. So tell us more about Lifeline.
Yeah, so at Lifeline of Ohio, our mission is to save and heal lives through the gift of organ, eye, and tissue donation. We serve primarily the central Ohio area, including the Lima area, as well as a small part of West Virginia. And so our role is really to facilitate and support the donation process, and then also to continue to find opportunities to remember the life and the legacy of our donors and to support their families.
Right, because, you know, as you said, you support the family, so grief is part of it. So what kind of resources do you have? How can you help people?
Yeah, well, I always like to remind our families of a couple key elements of how to navigate the holidays after losing someone you love. And I think the most important thing for all grievers, and really just any of us in general, is to be kind and to be patient with ourselves during the holiday season. It's important to remember that there's no right or wrong way to grieve, and there's no right or wrong way to face the holidays after the loss of someone you love. It's important to recognize your own limitations and to figure out what the holidays will look like without them. And, you know, so for some families, they might choose to forgo some of their traditions and maybe create new traditions. So they might decide to, instead of having, you know, the holidays like they used to, go and make a donation in their loved one's honor or serve at a soup kitchen. Maybe they decide to integrate some of their loved one's favorite dishes in their holiday meal, or keep an empty seat at the table as a way to remember and to honor this huge absence that their loved one has left, but how that they're still there with them and they're still present. So I think it's really important just to recognize what we need and how the people in our lives can support us. So inviting our family and our friends into our grief, but also into the ways they can support us through just these really difficult times.
Right.
So.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like whatever feels good to you and your family, you know, it's all right. I mean, that's what you should do. There's no set way to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's so important. And I think making sure that you're having opportunities to continue to foster the relationship and the bond that you have with your loved one is also really important. And that's a big part of what we are about at Lifeline.
Right, yeah. So, you know, during the holidays, a lot of people get together and, you know, it is a jolly time, but maybe it's also an opportunity to make sure that, you know, everyone's on the same page. So let's talk about, you know, being a donor and how to make sure that everyone is on the same page and we realize that they are a donor.
Yes, I think the holidays, as you mentioned, are such a great opportunity as we gather together to share our donation decisions with the people that we love, so they know how to honor those wishes. You can register to be a donor by going to our website at lifelineofohio.org, and you can also go to the local BMV and say yes to donation.
All right, it's just one of those steps. And as you've seen through your work, that it does change lives.
Absolutely. I mean, the ripple effect that one person's decision can make, it touches countless people, generations and I mean, just so many lives.
Right, exactly. Well, thank you very much, Alex, for joining us today, going through the grief process during the holidays and helping others. So thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for having us,
All
having
right.
me.
No problem. Don't go away. New Tradition continues in a moment.